Hey fellow gardeners, before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. I want to hear about your soil experiments and successes. Today, I'm revealing a secret that's often overlooked but has completely changed how I grow vegetables, flowers, and even stubborn lawns, the power of invisible earthworms. These tiny soil engineers might not be flashy, but their impact is nothing short of magical. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to harness them to transform your garden soil in weeks, not months. Earthworms are the unsung heroes of healthy soil, and not all of them are easy to see. When most people think of earthworms, they picture big, wiggling creatures breaking through the surface after rain. But there's a whole world of smaller, almost invisible species that spend their lives underground, quietly enriching your soil. These worms, often less than an inch long, don't draw attention, but they are the workhorses of decomposition. They feed on organic matter, break it down, and excrete nutrient-rich castings that your plants thrive on. I first noticed their effect when I introduced more compost into a neglected garden bed. Within a few weeks, the soil texture improved dramatically. It became crumbly, moist, and easy to work with. Your soil doesn't have to look dramatic to be alive, and these tiny worms are proof. The soil transformation starts with understanding what earthworms need. Invisible earthworms thrive in conditions that are moist, rich in organic matter, and free from harsh chemicals. Unlike the big surface dwellers, they prefer to live deep in the soil profile. That means regular watering and a steady supply of decomposing plant material are key. In my garden, I aim for a soil that's never dry and always has a top layer of mulch or leaf litter. Even a half-inch layer of chopped leaves or vegetable scraps on the soil surface can make a massive difference. For those starting from scratch, mix a ratio of 3 parts topsoil to 1 part well-rotted compost to create an environment where these worms will not just survive, but multiply. You can boost earthworm activity naturally by feeding them the right materials. These invisible worms are picky eaters, but once you know their preferences, you can see astonishing results. They love decomposing vegetables, coffee grounds, crushed eggshells, and finely shredded leaves. Avoid adding citrus peels or raw onion in large quantities. They slow the worms down. In practice, I sprinkle a handful of coffee grounds and a small layer of shredded leaves over a square meter of garden bed every week, then lightly water it in. Within 2 to 3 weeks, worm activity skyrockets. You'll notice tiny tunnels appearing just below the surface, which is the best sign that your soil life is awakening. The real magic happens when worms start improving soil structure and fertility. Invisible worms are slow but meticulous workers. As they move through the soil, they create channels that improve aeration and water retention. This means roots can penetrate deeper, water soaks in better, and your plants are less stressed during hot, dry spells. Their castings are even richer than compost, containing nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and beneficial microbes that suppress diseases. For example, when I amended a tired vegetable patch with shredded leaves and let worms do their work, I noticed my tomato plants were not only stronger but also set more fruit. It's hard to overstate the value of these unseen helpers. They turn mediocre soil into living, productive soil without any synthetic fertilizers. You can propagate these worms in your garden instead of buying them. While it's tempting to buy composting worms, invisible earthworms often thrive better if you give them a head start in your own soil. Start by adding a thick layer of organic matter to one section of your garden and avoid disturbing it. Over time, these worms will colonize the area, and you can gently transfer soil with worms to other beds. Another approach is creating small worm hotels. Dig a trench about 6 inches deep. Fill it with compost and vegetable scraps, cover with soil, and leave it undisturbed for a few weeks. The worms will move in, multiply, and eventually spread through your garden. It's a slow but incredibly rewarding process, and once your soil is teeming with life, you'll see benefits across the entire garden. Keep soil conditions stable to maintain a thriving worm population. Even the best worm efforts can be undone by neglect. These creatures are sensitive to extreme temperatures, dryness, and chemical fertilizers or pesticides. To keep your soil alive, maintain a consistent layer of mulch, water deeply, but not excessively, and rely on natural fertilizers like compost tea or seaweed extract. In my garden, I check worm activity monthly. If the soil looks dry or compacted, I lightly fork it and add a fresh layer of organic matter. It's a small amount of effort that pays huge dividends in plant health, soil fertility, and overall productivity. Once invisible earthworms colonize your garden, the results are astonishing. I've seen beds that were previously hard, compacted, and lifeless turn into soft, fertile soil that practically begs for seeds. Carrots grow straighter, lettuce is crispier, and flowering plants bloom fuller. The difference is dramatic because invisible earthworms don't just improve the soil superficially, they transform it from the inside out. And the best part is that once they establish themselves, they maintain the soil naturally. It's like having a self-sustaining, living team of gardeners working beneath the surface, quietly ensuring your plants get everything they need. If you've enjoyed this guide and want more practical, hands-on gardening strategies, make sure to subscribe to Evergreen Garden and hit that notification bell. Share this with your fellow gardeners, and don't forget to comment below with your experiences with earthworms, composting, or any garden miracle you've witnessed. The more we exchange insights, the richer our gardens and our community become. Invisible earthworms may be small, but their impact is monumental. Give them the right environment, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your soil and plants respond.